I used to think my focus problem was a character flaw, like I was just bad at concentration. I would sit down to work, open a tab, start a task, and somehow end up 10 minutes later doing something completely different, with no memory of choosing it. I was not lazy. I was getting hijacked. For a long time, I tried the normal fixes. More caffeine, more motivation, more apps that promised to block distractions. They helped for a day, then I adapted and drifted again. Because the real issue was not that I had distractions. The real issue was that my brain could not hold a clear target long enough to finish a step. That is why using AI to fix focus sounds fake. It sounds like one more shiny trick. But what actually worked was not AI making me focused. It was AI doing something my brain was failing to do in the moment, keeping the task crisp, keeping the next step small, and pulling me back when I drifted. Here is the simple truth. Focus is not a personality trait. It is a system. If your system is weak, your attention leaks. If your system is strong, you can be a chaotic person and still ship work. So I built a focus system around AI and tested it in real life. Not on a perfect day. On the kind of day where I was tired, had too much to do, and could feel my brain trying to escape. And it worked. The first change was getting specific about what I cannot focus actually means. Most days it is one of three things: fog, friction, or drift. Fog is unclear priorities. Friction is tasks that are too big to start. Drift is getting pulled sideways mid-task. The AI system I use hits them in that exact order. Clarity, then a tiny start, then a drift catcher. Step 1 is a 2-minute focus target. I open AI and tell it what I am doing today, but I do not ask for a plan. I ask for a target. One outcome that matters, and one task that starts it. The goal is to remove the fog. I write it as a single paragraph so it reads naturally, and I force questions before answers. That prevents AI from guessing, and it forces me to be specific. I'm trying to get real work done right now. Here is what I have to accomplish today. Here are my constraints. Ask me 3 clarifying questions. After I answer, give me one focused target for the next 45 minutes and one tiny first step that takes under 5 minutes. That output becomes the anchor. Once I have it, I stop renegotiating with myself. Because most focus problems are really decision problems. You keep deciding what to do, over and over, until you get tired and drift. Step 2 is what I call the 5-minute start. If you cannot start, you cannot focus, so I do not ask AI for motivation. I ask it to make the first step stupidly startable. Not impressive, startable. If my focus target is draft the first 2 minutes of a script, the 5-minute start is write the first 6 lines of the hook. If my focus target is clean up my pipeline, the 5-minute start is pull the list and send one follow-up message. If my focus target is edit a video, the 5-minute start is cut the first 30 seconds and export a rough. This is where a lot of productivity advice fails. It tells people to break tasks down without telling them how small is small enough. The AI rule is simple. If I cannot do it in 5 minutes, it is still too big. So I ask AI to take the focus target and rewrite it into one physical action I can complete in 5 minutes. Make it specific. Make it measurable. Then give me the next 2 micro steps that come after it. Keep it short. I am not hunting motivation. I am creating a start I cannot argue with. Now I have a runway. And once I do that first micro step, momentum kicks in and focus gets easier. Not because I suddenly became disciplined, because I stopped staring at an abstract task. Step 3 is the part that made the biggest difference. A drift catcher. Because even with clarity and a start, I will drift. That is normal. My brain will try to escape the moment it hits discomfort. The solution is not pretending I will never drift. The solution is having a fast way back. So, I use I like a focus spotter. I do not keep chatting with it the whole time, I work. But when I feel myself drifting, I do a 20-second check-in. I paste one line. I drifted. I am doing this instead of my focus target. Give me one command to return, and one tiny restart action. That is shockingly effective. It interrupts the drift loop and replaces it with a single command. It is basically an external brain that does not get emotionally involved. And the key is that it only gives me one instruction. Not 5 options. not a lecture, one instruction. My brain does not want a menu when it is drifting. It wants a shove. 2 extra pieces turned this from helpful to actually worked. The first was reducing open loops. Open loops are unfinished commitments, and they leak attention. You cannot focus when your brain keeps whispering "do not forget" in the background. So before I start a focus block, I do a quick, open-loop sweep. I dump the nagging thoughts into AI and ask it to either schedule them, park them, or convert them into one next step. The second piece was making the environment match the focus target. If my focus target is writing, the environment should be a writing environment. If my focus target is editing, the environment should be an editing environment. If my focus target is outreach, the environment should be outreach. I do not need a perfect setup. I need fewer mismatched cues. So I started asking AI to give me a focus setup in one sentence. Close everything except the doc and notes. Open the editor and load only the clip I am working on. Pull the contact list and open the message template. It is small, but it reduces the temptation to multitask. Now, here is what did not work. Trying to use AI to build elaborate focus routines. Long morning rituals. Complex Pomodoro setups. Fancy systems with 10 steps. Those are fragile. They die the moment the day gets messy. The system that worked for me was simple. Target, start, drift catcher. Trying to block distractions as the main strategy did not work either. Blocking can help, but it will not fix fog. If I am unclear, I can block the whole internet and still stall. Focus comes from a clear target and a tiny next step I can actually do. And the last thing that did not work was treating focus like a mood. Waiting to feel focused. That is a trap. Focus is a result of starting. You start, you get momentum. Then focus shows up. So here is the simplest way to use this today. Pick one thing you need to ship. Not 5. 1. Open AI and force it to pick a focus target for the next 45 minutes. Then force it to give you a 5-minute start. Then do the start immediately. No negotiating. And when you drift, do not spiral. Do not shame yourself. Just run the drift catcher line and take the one instruction it gives you. If you do that for a week, you will notice something that feels almost unfair. You do not magically become a new person. You just stop wasting the first 20 minutes of every work session deciding what to do. You stop letting tasks stay abstract. You stop letting drift turn into an hour. That is what AI fixed for me. It did not give me more willpower. It gave me a better focus system. And if you want a simple benchmark to know it is working, it is this. Your work sessions start producing something real in the first 10 minutes. A paragraph, a draft, a message, a cut, a checklist, something visible. Because focus is not measured by how hard you stared at the screen. Focus is measured by output. Once you build a system that keeps targets crisp, starts small, and catches drift fast, your focus stops being a mystery. It becomes something you can run on purpose.